Welcome to Farming Fridays Week 4. In with the old and in with the new. Today we're going to couple the old school farming techniques with the new school farming techniques and really dig deep in order to show you exactly how to use them together. So with that being said, I ask you one question. Does your real estate career have a foundation? Do you know on January 1st every year that you can count on your first $10, $20, $30,000 coming from one source of business? Do you have a plan, or are you just kind of winging it? Well, within Farming Fridays, we're going to teach you how to have a plan so that you know where that first amount of income is going to come from. My name is Carrie Fitzpatrick, and I am one of the lucky founders of the program being brought to you here today. I have a bachelor's degree in education, a master's degree in administration, and 30 years in residential real estate experience. The fun part about what I get to do is I get to couple my two careers, my education career, my teaching career, and my real estate career. I've either done it myself, managed someone who was doing it, or as I continue to do, dig into all the things, the latest and greatest technologies that are out there in order to sell real estate in today's day and age. So far on Farming Fridays, we have talked about how to pick and work your farm, dissecting your farming prospects, building your brand around neighborhood culture using annual events. This week, we're going to talk about in with the old and in with the new. Next week, we'll talk about your distribution team and how to manage them. And then in week 6, we're going to talk about how you can scale your economy so that you can build this thing deeper and wider. In week 1, we talked about the 3 simple rules. The 3 simple rules were to never enter a geographic farm area where one listing agent closes more than 25% of the listings in that farm area. Never project more than 10% capture of the listing side commission during your first year of your farm. We went a little deeper in that so that you know that you can capture more than that, but let's not project any more than that. And then number 3 was never spend more than 10% of your projected gross income on your farming activities. So those were our simple rules, and we went through them and I explained to you how to do it. If you'd like to learn how to do that and you haven't been to week 1, please go back and look for us on demand for week 1. Then in week 2, we talked about dissecting that farm area. We talked about building your binders and all the different categories and how you were supposed to look at what was going on in your farm area and do the homework that had you doing your due diligence. List the list pendants, the expireds, the for sale by owners, the absentee owners, the established residences, the people who've lived there forever, and possibly the empty nesters. All of that information is so important, and if you go back to week 2, you can find out why. And then in week 3, we talked about blueprinting. We talked about higher cost versus no cost versus lower cost ideas that you can use inside of farming. We're going to build each week on each thing that we're doing, and this week we're going to build on all that Facebook work and all that homework that you did last week. So last week I told you to create a Facebook business page. I told you to create a private group inside of Facebook for your neighborhood subdivision and to start inviting people that you knew lived there. Look for them, research them, find them. I'd also like for you to like us on Facebook where Annie Mac works. So like us on Facebook where we give out tips and tricks of things that you can do. And follow me on Facebook, Carrie Buning Fitzpatrick. And then invite me to your group. Invite me to follow your page so that I can see the things that you're doing. We talked about all the different things that you can do with Facebook, whether it being building rapport or having specific subdivision value things with your homeowner's news and your subdivision photos, community news that's going on, the soccer tryouts, and all the different things that are happening. I taught you that you should use the school calendar and you should do market updates, and also that you were to create an Instagram account for your subdivision and for yourself if you don't have one. I'd also like for you to follow us on Instagram at Annie Mac Works so that we can follow you back. And me personally, Carrie J. Fitzpatrick. That's my Instagram name so that you can follow me and I can follow you back. Let's start to build these things together. We talked about how to create a website and where you would go to get it for an inexpensive amount of money. and how you could do all those different things. If you have not already done that, I suggest that you do, because everything that we do from this point forward is going to be based on the building blocks from everything that we've done over the past 3 weeks. In addition to that, we talked about how you can create a free subdivision website, and you can do that by signing up at myworksuite.com. myworksuite.com will allow you to create one using all the different techniques that I taught you last week. In summary of that, create a private group on Facebook, create a subdivision account on Instagram, buy a domain that represents your farm, and construct your master task lists and accountability deadlines. So I hope that you did all of that stuff. I got a bunch of great homework in. A bunch of people are sharing with me, and following and tagging and liking. So seems like we're off to a pretty good start here at the midway mark. We also talked about neighborhood newsletters and how you could get the information and how you could do that. I'm going to get a little bit further in depth with you on that today. That's one of our old school techniques that I'm going to be talking about. We also talked about all the different events that you could have and all the different things that you could schedule. Your 4th of July flags, your 9/11 flags, your school calendars, Luminatias, your Halloween get-togethers, and how exactly for you to do that. Different things that you could post, like congratulating the graduating class of any given year, or hosting a community-wide garage sale. And you'd be surprised at how aggressive people have become on their task management as I grade and check all these homework assignments. But today, what we're really going to go into is week 4, in with the old and in with the new. The more time I spend in the real estate industry, the more time I get to observe. And I'm watching all of these people trying to reinvent the wheel. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can work inside of the box instead of outside of the box. You know, the 90s became in fashion for everybody to say, oh, work outside the box. It's almost become a cliche. The people that earn $500,000 a year are working inside the box and just dipping their toe outside of the box. The younger people in the industry think that outside of the box is the only way to do it, and they're not making any money. So in this session of Foreclosure Fridays, I am actually going to teach you how to keep with the old while tweaking with the new school technologies. Because we do recognize that some innovations that are digital in nature and electronic are definitely easy to implement. And we recognize that some of our staples are also proven and effective. So we want to talk to you about technology-driven versus interpersonal. You know, you're your own boss, so you're going to make the decision as to what you feel most comfortable with. But I'm telling you that if I were going to set you up with recommendations, I would say create a balance. The first thing I'm going to shed some light on here today is the new technology available in farming. Then I'm going to teach you about some proven old school techniques, and then we're going to make recommendations for your 12-month plan that combines the best of both worlds. So here I am on my Facebook page, and I'm going to go to my Facebook business page, which is Annie Mac Works. We talked about that earlier, right? Now I'm going to take you into where we have the Ad Center. So you're going to click on Ad Center, and you're going to go into this button right here called Audiences. So we'll click on Audiences, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to create exactly the audience that you want to reach, which is what? Your geographic farm area. So I'm going to click Create Audience, and then I'm going to name it. I'm going to name this one Wyndham Lakes. And I lived there for 16 years, but I still can't spell it. And then I'm going to choose the gender, which is all. And then I'm going to choose the age bracket that I want to target, which is, I think, about 21, maybe 22 is the time when we start to be able to purchase a home. And then I'm going to go in here. And if you notice, when I clicked on Add Locations, this map showed up. And there's this little button right here that says Drop Pin. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to narrow it down because it's got the whole world map here, and I'm not prepared to market to the whole world. So I'm going to type in Coral Springs because that's where my fake farm area is, and I'm going to choose Coral Springs, Florida. Then it drops a pin for me and it says that my audience is defined, but I don't want to do the whole city of Coral Springs because that is a lot of people. But I just brought it closer. Now I'm going to zoom in on this screen because I know exactly where my farm area is or exactly where I want to be. And I see that this is it right here. This is Wyndham Lakes. This is the area that I'm looking for. So I'm going to click here, drop pin, and I'm going to drop it right in the center of it. Boom. Now I have this, and you see how big that circle got? It literally took in a 10-mile radius of where I want to be. So I can click up here and I can bring it down to a 1-mile radius or a 2-mile radius, depending on how large the audience is that you are looking to do. Now I know that 1 mile, because if you see, if I put 2, it makes it bigger, but I don't want all that. I only want 1 mile. So I'm going to go to 1 mile. And it's going to overlap a smidge on the outside, which is no longer Wyndham Lakes. So I can't do 0.5. I wish I could, but I'm right in the center of it. And there's obviously no Facebook users out here, right? Then I can go in and I can add demographics, interests, or behaviors. Now, I want every single person inside of Wyndham Lakes, whether they own a home or not. But if you were trying to do a larger area and you wanted to get, or you wanted to do specific ads, look at something that I discovered that's real fun. I can actually type in soccer mom. And if I type in soccer mom, I've got people who have labeled themselves as soccer moms within that area. You can also, I can take this out and I'm going to do that right now. You can also put in parents. So look at when I put in parents, what happens? I can pick parents, all parents. I can pick parents with adult children, 18 to 26 years old. Who do you think those might be? They might be our empty nesters that we're looking for, right? I can put parents with teenagers, 13 to 18 years old. I can put parents with 0 to 12 or parents with early school age children. So I can narrow down my demographics in my ad spend in order to target those people with certain types of ads. But for this example, I'm simply going to not put any demographics in and I'm going to say that this is it. Now, Facebook says that my selection is too specific, but Facebook is talking about a global scale. They're not talking about like the people who want to drill down and drill right into the spot. We're not too specific for our purposes. So let's say save, and now it's saying that I have a 15,000 person potential reach. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to create an ad. I'm going to click this button right here that says that I want to create an ad. And then I'm going to choose to try to either get more messages or collect more leads. They work very much in the same fashion. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you that once I click that, I can do a few different things. You should know that the video or the slideshow brings in more viewers. So I would suggest that you create a slideshow when you're putting that in. So what to do in order to create that slideshow is to browse your library if you've already done one. But since you probably haven't, I'm going to push cancel and say create slideshow. Now you have the ability to choose the image duration, which is 0.5, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, the transitions, the music that goes with it. So I'm going to add photos. So I was playing with it obviously earlier, getting ready to do this for you, but I'm going to upload some images. So what are you going to pick? You'll maybe pick some pictures of some houses, right, in that area. So this is my Grand Isle pictures. I'm going to select that one. I'll go in and I'll upload another image. I'll select the second one. I'll upload another image, upload another, and obviously you'll have the ones chosen that you're going to want to put into your advertising before you go and do this. And you have the monument sign. Now I have 5 photos here that I have selected. So then you select the aspect ratio of the height. If you're not sure, the fun thing is you can do this and then continue and see what it looks like. And then if you don't like it, you don't have to continue with it, but you're allowed to put up to 10 photos in. So we're going to say continue, and all 5 will show up here down at the bottom. You can have it fade in your slideshow for your transition, and then you can go and choose your music. Do you want blues, country? Once you select your music, you'll go back to your settings, and you can say create slideshow. Now you have created your first video. So our text says we are here to give realtor education because that's what we're here for, right? However, yours will talk about what it is that you're targeting. Are you looking for a neighborhood survey? Are you looking for people to answer questions about whether or not they're getting ready to move? Are you looking to get people to answer you for certain things? And you can use our scripting that I'm going to go over with you in a few minutes in order to fill in the text information. And your headline will obviously be your name or neighborhood survey or something to that effect. Now it's going to ask you, who are you going to target? Ours are the National Association of Realtors, real estate brokers, real estate or broker. So we're going to actually not choose these people, and we're going to choose our newly created audience. See, we created that audience for a reason. So that's why we did it. Now we're going to select automatic placements. How long do we want to run this? So you choose how long you want it to go for, and you can choose as little as 1 day. You can do 30 days, and then it asks you how much you would like to spend per day. So it's saying if you want to spend $1 a day for 8 days, your estimated people that you're going to reach is between 57 and 190 people per day of your 11,000. If you want to spend $5 a day, you're going to reach between 280 and 670 people per day of the people that you would like to target. So you'll spend a total of $40, and this ad will run for 8 days. And then you choose your payment account, so on and so forth, and you say promote. Then what will happen is Facebook will look at your ad, and it will make the determination of whether or not your ad gets approved or not. If it doesn't get approved for any reason, then you'll go back and you'll tweak it. But the only way that it wouldn't be approved is if you have too much text or you're advertising the things that are not inside of their advertising policy. They don't allow certain types of ads, but you're not in danger of that because you're not doing anything illicit, if you know what I mean. So I'm not going to push promote because I'm not going to place this ad, but then you will be able to have your ad running on Facebook. I want you to know that when you're in Facebook, you do not have to be on Facebook 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, you should have your messenger open in case you're placing an ad and somebody's messaging you, and that's your goal, and you're answering, and you want to answer in a very, very fast manner. However, in order for you to have the presence that you need, that you want, you should have at least 2 posts per day. So in order for you to do that, you should time block. And I want to show you that you have the ability to post, but not post. Wait, what? So I'm creating a post here that says Farming Fridays is happening in 5 minutes. Join us soon. So when do you think that I would post that. I would post that 5 minutes before Farming Fridays is happening. So I'm sharing with you a little secret here because I have the ability to share now, or I have the ability to schedule. So I can schedule it at any time to go out, and I can schedule multiples so that while I'm time blocking, it's putting it out there, it's there, and then I don't have to think about it again. I could do the whole month's post in one 2 hour block. I could do the whole 2 months posts in one 2 hour block. So I would simply choose the date and the time for this to go out. And then I could say, come on, join us guys for Farming Fridays. It's happening in 5 minutes. So I'm going to schedule this for October 3rd, or 8 is August. August 30th at 9:55 a.m., right? And then I would simply push schedule. Then I could put schedule post, and I could say that I'm feeling excited that it's getting ready to start. And I've become a little bit more human at that point. So you would say schedule post. But I want you to post monument signs. I want you to post the happenings that are happening in the neighborhood. I want you to drive through the neighborhood at any given time and take 20 pictures and then go schedule 20 posts that go along with it. With that being said, that is exactly how you can create your presence inside of Facebook. It makes you seem like you're everywhere. You're always in their feeds. You're always in their posts. You can schedule for ads to go out asking for information, and you can also schedule for your posts to go out, which makes this whole thing a little bit more systematized. As your Facebook becomes more systematized, so should your old school farming techniques. So one of the things that we talked about, and I want to reiterate and go over with you, is your inventory update call. So let's take a look at a few different examples. Good evening. I'm sorry to bother you after dinner hour, but I really wanted to catch you at home. My name is Carrie Fitzpatrick, and I represent ABC, the real estate brokerage that specializes in Wyndham Lakes right here in Coral Springs. The reason I'm calling is the number of houses for sale in Wyndham Lakes is an all-time low, and our brokerage is making our annual inventory projections for the coming year. Which answer best represents your family's idea about Wyndham Lakes? Are we planning a move this year? Are we planning a move in the next 1 to 3 years? Would we like to move in 3 to 5 years? So you're going to talk to them. You're going to have a conversation with them. You're going to ask them these inventory questions. You're going to ask them all of these things so that you can then put that into that spreadsheet and put that into your binder so that you have all of the information. Which answer best represents your family's ideas about your plans? If you're planning on moving within the next 1 to 3 years, are you going to go locally? Or would you like to relocate in the state or outside of the county? Where are you planning on relocating to? Are you moving to a larger house or a smaller house? It's all just a way for you to have a conversation so that when you do need the information, you already have it. When you do run into them, you know who they are. You're having eyeball to eyeball conversations with them. You already have this background knowledge of them. Which answer best represents your family's idea about Wyndham Lakes? What's the best thing that you like about Wyndham Lakes? Is it the location? Is it the neighbors in the neighborhood? Or the amenities or the things that go on there? And which one is the things that you would change about it? So when you have this information, when you're having your next call or you're using it for, remember I said earlier when you were doing your Facebook stuff that I said you could ask for questions and you could do inventory stuff? Well, that's what you can use this for as well. So it doesn't just have to be for the phone call. It can also be for your lead questions so that you're getting that information from them and they're actually submitting that. Then you're linked with them on Facebook and you're able to use them inside of your targeting and retargeting that you're doing. So all of these things and all of these ways that you can do it are there, and they're old school and they're great. And they work with your new school techniques. See how I tied that all together there? What about a social media campaign? Hi, Mrs. Smith. My name is Carrie Fitzpatrick, and I'm from XYZ Real Estate. Based on our previous conversations, I know that you're not moving anytime soon. But the reason that I was calling this week was to introduce our private social media platform just for Wyndham Lakes. So now they've joined you and they start to know you as the neighborhood name. So if they do plan on moving or they do decide that they need to move, maybe there's a divorce that comes into the family, maybe somebody gets a job transfer, maybe they don't want to go to that school anymore, then they know that you're the person and you've become that household name. Would you respond positively to wyndhamlakes.com? Please join our private Facebook group. We think you might be excited for our market updates. So that's one old school technique that kind of brings the new school and the old school together. Then we go into our neighborhood newsletter, which is so old school, but still is very, very good. But remember I said I don't want you to pay for it? I don't want you to pay for that neighborhood newsletter. I want you to go out and I want you to find advertisers for it. Now, I touched on it a little bit last week, but I'm going to show you exactly how. I want you to go in and search animal hospitals in that area. So you should be talking to these animal hospitals about whether or not they want to advertise on your Facebook business page and or in your neighborhood newsletter. Whether maybe you're going to do door hangers, maybe you're going to do postcards. All of these people should be helping you to pay for that. So choose that Chinese restaurant and actually Google search it and see which one's closest to your neighborhood. Well, which one do you think that I would target first? You know my little corner that I've been talking about is this little corner back here. So maybe I would go there first and then work my way out. Maybe I would go here first and work my way out if I was looking for those things. But I also want you to do it with a system. I want you to go to the advertisers and say, "Hi, my name is Carrie Fitzpatrick. I'm the publisher of the neighborhood newsletter and the wyndhamlakes.com website. We're offering free marketing to the homeowners in Wyndham Lakes in exchange for some special offer." So they can actually go into the neighborhood newsletter if they want to give you something free for being a member of your private group. Or they can pay $25 a month to have a classified ad, $75 monthly for a business card ad. I did this, guys, and I had 3,500 newsletters that went out every single month for free. Was it a labor of love? It certainly was, but it definitely gave me a return on my investment. That brings me to your homework for this week. What I would like for you to do is schedule your bi-weekly posts via social media that reference your subdivision, domain name, and any relevant topic. I want you to schedule your value reports monthly and reference the subdivision domain name and other relevant topics. And I want you to schedule your newsletter or other electronic communication via email, Facebook, LinkedIn on a monthly basis. I want you to choose what's going to be your ad spend and schedule when you're going to make your phone calls in sections. So I don't want you to tackle the whole thing at once. I want you to tackle each section of the binder and give yourself an accountability date. Your accountability date can be 1 month. You could do one section a month. It could be one section a week, but it has to be something that you can achieve. It has to be something that you're going to do. My subdivision specific domain name is on all my contact, print, hand-delivered mail, or digital communication. I have invited every contact to my private Facebook group, and I'm growing penetration as a percentage of residences. I have affiliated via LinkedIn with every available resident. I have subscribed every contact to my MailChimp account in anticipation of our newsletter and market updates. Prepare for this stuff, guys. I have made notes on every contact regarding ownership, intentions, upgrades, and other memorable notations. For this week's homework, I'm going to furnish you with this document in addition to all of the scripting that I went over today. So with that being said, I want to thank you for joining me for week 4 of Farming Fridays, and I look forward to coming back with week 5 and teaching you all the other great things that you can do inside of your farm area. Thanks and have a great day.